Hey guys, welcome to Lone Aspen. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Chris. Today we're going to be talking about cutting wood. Now, if you find yourself out in the woods a lot, you're probably going to be cutting a lot of wood, whether it's for a shelter building or primarily it's probably just going to be for the fire that you're building. And that being said, you're going to be thinking maybe you'll be chopping it up with your big knife or your axe or your hatchet because chopping wood is fun, right? Well, there's a little bit more involved when it comes to cutting wood, especially if you spend a lot of time out here.
Yeah, it's said that firewood warms you up 3 times. Once when you gather it, once when you chop it up, and once when you burn it. And this also ties into our video where we talk about fire pits. It just depends on how much wood you want to chop. During the winter, we cut up a lot of wood. Now, tough guys chop stuff. I'm 130 pounds, and so I'm not real tough. And so what I use is this. This is a double crosscut saw. As you can see, the tip's busted off. It's missing a couple teeth. It's a little dull, but it's served me very well. And we just want to give you this demonstration for everybody that likes to chop stuff up because we think there's a primary tool that should be in your kit that's been overlooked by a lot of people. Check this out. Now you see, the thing is we have a lot of work to do out here every day. Lots of firewood to cut, lots of projects to do. Trying to film it for you guys adds a lot of work to the process. And now that Chris has alerted every animal within a square kilometer that we are here, hunting for today might be a little complicated, and we're probably going to have to move somewhere else. Beyond that, the caloric expenditure that Chris was putting into all these mighty swings of his wears on you really quick when you need the fire pit for everything and it's below zero out here. Beyond that, every time he comes down, it's putting a lot of force on his joints. And you can only keep that motion up for so long where beyond your muscles wearing out, your joints just start to hurt. It's a lot of work. The saw, if you're using this for a project, gives you a beautiful finished edge with which you can immediately begin working. For any kind of project, it just gives you exactly what you need. You can cut angles, you can cut V's, notches. It's a wonderful tool. Now, the knife is your most important tool out here. However, for the weight of this saw, it's silly to not bring one out. This little saw blade is like a razor blade, and it has 2 sets of teeth opposed to one another. And that's why they call it a double cross cut, because it cuts on the push and the pull. So you're getting chips on both sides. Now, the teeth of a saw are measured in what is called teeth per inch. This, by the way, is a standing dead piece of pine, just like a 2x4. Now, pine is a very soft wood. If I had a TPI that was exclusively for cutting pine, what you would see is very large, aggressive teeth for a soft wood. But I like my saws to be able to cut through bone, ice, all kinds of things. It's probably why it's missing a couple teeth. But a larger aggressive tooth could have cut through this same piece in probably half the time. But I use my saw for other things. For harder woods, you want a smaller tooth like this. Now, as far as a bow saw versus a jab saw, this is a jab saw. A bow saw has the frame and a little blade you put in there. Both are very good. We prefer the jab saw. The reason being is that if we want to get in and saw a limb off between 2 limbs, the jab saw can reach in places where the bow saw cannot. Now, while the saw is great, in very, very cold weather like we actually don't have here, mostly in the continental United States, these little razor blades can get a little brittle in the winter. We don't have that problem down here. The saw is the tool. It requires very little effort to use, and what you can do with it is absolutely incredible. Across the course of the day, as I've said in our knife video, this saw and my small knife are my most used tools.
Yep, just to reiterate, like Jeff said, of course, the saw, I mean, it was a lot quieter than chopping. He didn't use as much energy as I did. He didn't expend all those calories I did. Is what you're mainly concerned about conserving in a survival scenario. And take note that Jeff's piece was even thicker than the piece I cut, and it did create that nice clean working surface where I have this jagged thing which I couldn't really do much with. And of course, when you're doing chopping or sawing wood, have your gloves and some type of eye protection on like we're wearing, because safety is a big issue out here as well.
Not all saws are created equal, guys. Do your homework, look into your saws, buy a good quality brand name saw. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you found it informative. Check out our other videos. Thanks for stopping by.